Hey, this is Z with Small Scale Development, where I'm going to help you see what a developer does on a daily basis so you can learn how to do it for yourself. And I'm going to take you step by step through the process. Today is November 28th, 2022. And today I was going to talk about a project that I'm looking at doing. We've got this land right here, which you can see, and we've got a building right here. It was a house. We converted it to an office building several years ago as our construction office. COVID hit, closed it down for a couple of years, and finally, I guess this spring, we got a new tenant. It was a tattoo shop. There was some drama with neighbors over that. But what I was going to talk with you about today was building on the site next door. But I have another interesting tidbit I'd like to add. About the tattoo shop. So when we submitted the permit, or we have a hair salon just to the lot next door. I'm going to show you a picture right here. So we've got a building right here that we converted. Now it's part hair salon, part artist studio, and we installed a driveway here with parking, and we put some parking here for the tattoo shop. And to do the tattoo shop, we needed to get a conditional use permit. Well, we need to send that to the city and to the neighbors, and so most were in favor of having the tattoo shop here. However, one neighbor actually was pretty upset about it and spoke at the planning commission. It got approved though, and they moved in. But actually, now that we got these two buildings running and paying rent and cash flowing, I was getting ready to start thinking about what we would do over here in this spot. So we have two food trucks here, and what we had looked at doing was they want to make a little bar, a little out of a container, a little like they want to make a little tap room out of a shipping container and have a food court bar, beer garden. And so we were thinking about putting it right here, and then because we still had room to build over here. But then what happened was we started to they were thinking about putting it over here in this buildable area. And so I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to start looking at what I can build in this spot here. So, because I don't know that I want them putting it here, and let's say it's real successful, it would be a shame to move it. But I also am wanting. There's people I know who are wanting space both for commercial and for residential. So I didn't want to build that there. So I started looking at what we could build here. I looked at it before actually. Prices seemed pretty high. But what we decided to do was actually I had a video of it a couple weeks ago. We decided to put it over here. This is the tap room, and then that way all of the people who were out in the front would be kind of close to the street, and it would be very visible and just a nice beer garden. There's a big old school is no longer a school across the street. It actually just went under contract to be sold to a nonprofit that's doing some sort of community projects, and there's a big field. So we'll see what happens. But in any case, we decided to build that over here. We have the tattoo shop, and we had I found a building that looked perfect over here. So update is this morning, as I was getting ready to prepare for this video, I got a call from the tattoo shop saying that she lost a number of her staff, and it was so she's not going to be able to rent that anymore. So it's only been rented for several months. We had to do some plumbing conversions to get little sinks in there, and for each room, and it's three bedrooms or 3 rooms, a main room, kitchen, and a bathroom. So we converted it more to an office space a couple years ago. Then we just installed plumbing. She paid half of it, we paid half of it, and we're building that into the rent of the extra of the plumbing. So she just said she had 5 employees who were in there. A couple months ago, they decided they wanted to go off on their own, and so she was talking about letting them keep the space, and her, but then she got in a disagreement with them. She decided she was going to take over the whole space and add some more people. Well, she had a couple new people there, and both of them actually just left. So now we're left basically with an empty building again. The interesting thing about that is that we may be able to, I have someone who is looking for wanting to start a wine bar, and I think this would actually be a really great place for it. Eventually I kind of thought it would be a great place for a farm to table restaurant. It's pretty small. It's about 1,200 square feet. So maybe that's a possibility. I was trying to design a building on another site that could house a wine bar, but that would be, I still haven't even I've been waiting for 6 months for the architect to get on the schedule to start designing that building, and I still he hasn't really even started yet. So even once he got it ready, it would be a year. So we're looking at 18 months out probably. So this could actually be a good space. But anyway, so just kind of the things that as a small developer you'll have to deal with is small businesses who have less, well, they're flexible, but they maybe just they're learning and growing, and they're struggling with all their operations too. So in any case, what I want to talk to you about today was this space here for the architecture. So looking a little bit more closely right here, it would be kind of this space right here. This is an alleyway. It's not built out, but it's owned by the city, so we could use it. And so what I want to do is have parking, drive down here, building in the middle, and this would be commercial on the first floor, and then residential on the second and third floor, with parking back here coming out to this alley. And this alley over here was unbuilt, but now we actually had to build it because of adding the tattoo shop, so that was required by the city. So we had spent much money to build out this alleyway, which is now no longer going to be in use. So anyway, here's a little bit. I'm going to show you what the building that I found looked like. So let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. So this would typically be the street side facing. However, we would have to turn the building. So this would be the front side. This would be facing west, and this part facing south. I'll see, and just so you can kind of get a feel. So there's this side face the street. This side faces kind of interior of the lot, and this is a covered porch with the stairs up to the units, the residential units upstairs, and then you would drive over here and then park back here. And so I'm going to show you what the building looks like with the different sides. So this is facing from the back side, and this would be on the south end. And this would be facing west. This would be the east side facing west. So where you would enter to get to the apartments upstairs. And what's really cool here, they didn't design it like this, but there's a possibility for a roof deck here. So it would make this would be the front side. I think I'd want to change the front side here just to make it a little feel more commercial in the front with bigger windows or doors, and just make it feel more like a front. But this so this is where the rooftop deck could be for the apartment that's on the and right here for the third floor, which would have a really nice view looking south. This is a big field back here, about 1 acre of grassland. We own that, and eventually would like to put in a small farm, maybe some sort of retreat center for health and wellness. Not sure yet, don't have specific plans, but I think it would have a really nice view looking to the south and looking out over whatever sort of nature and health retreat type thing we have. Here is a look at what a sketch of the site plan might look like. So we've got the alleyway coming in here. Maybe there's a few parking spaces, and then you drive back here and then drive down the driveway here. This is on the property, and then park this way here, and then it would flow through. So let's see. So I got really excited. I went and looked at, so mixed use buildings are pretty expensive. When I've talked with architects, they've been really, it's been a really high price to get the architecture and engineering. And so I kind of always thought, well, it's a big risk to have a building you don't actually even know what it's going to cost to build before you design it and pay a bunch of money. So I found this one. It's that I liked a lot, that worked really well. And this is from Allison Ramsey. They have a lot of great house plans, mixed use buildings, small duplexes, garage apartments. They just have tons and tons of houses and buildings on their website that you can look at. And particularly if you like traditional architecture, but you can look at the floor plans. Let's just say if you're more interested in modern or housing, then you could still look at the floor plans to see what that would look like. Just the exterior would be different. But here I found this plan. It just seems to fit just perfectly. And I then saw that it was a one-time license to build for $1,750, and I thought, wow, that would be great, because I've actually gotten quotes from $50,000-$60,000 for doing a mixed use building of this size. So I thought, wow, that would be great. They have construction drawings already. Oh, here's a nice look at the building, front to back, all around. So nice looking building. It's actually a building that I could probably reuse in several spots. And I thought, wow, for $1,750, that sounds great. Well, it turns out that when you get a architectural plan, they're licensed in South Carolina. They're not licensed in Arkansas. So I would need to get a local architect to stamp it. Well, I did contact a local architect. And so I went over a long conversation with him and what that would entail. And I got a quote back, and it was about, I'd say, $45,000 to do the design. So that was a real shock. $45,000, that was for the architecture. And then it was going to be about $20,000 for engineering, for civil engineering. That's kind of doing the site plan and grading and stormwater runoff. And then about $20,000 for the mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineer, and then $20,000 for the structural engineer. So we're looking at about $110,000 of upfront costs, soft costs, just to get the building to a stage where we could actually get it fully priced out and whatnot. So that was a big shock to me. I'm used to dealing with numbers more in the, I don't know, $10,000 range, $10,000 range. That was a huge shock to me. So now I'm looking at what I can do to, and if I wanted to reuse that building, they would charge 50% of that. So I've thought, okay, well, if I can reuse the building multiple times and I pay that, and I can use it 4 or 5 times in different places, then that's gonna lower the cost overall, and maybe it's worth it. But if I'm gonna have to pay 50% every time I use it, then that's going to be a hefty cost. So I need to look deeper at, does it make sense to do that? And, can I find a more economical way to go about this? Because the building as well is going to be more expensive to build too. We're going to have to put in fire suppression, fire sprinklers. We're going to have to do it to some higher standards, et cetera. It's going to be a bigger project with more parking, so more requirements by the city as well. So anyway, a lot for me to think about, but I will let you know as I proceed. And I may take a back step on this, or take a little breather on this till I figure out what we're going to do next door, because I don't want to have a vacant building that I'm paying a note on, and then also have a construction project or even pre-construction funding that I'm spending money on until I get this sorted. I was pretty excited because this has been sitting vacant for a while, and I was really happy that we were now stabilized along with the building next door with the hair salon. We got that restabilized just a couple months ago with getting the new hair salon in. So anyway, a lot to think about, but I just wanted to share kind of the ups and downs and daily learnings from small developer world. Thank you. Until next time.